Namaste, dear students. How are you all? I hope you are watching the videos and the lectures and trying to understand the things. So, as I am here today, my name is Mamta Singh and I am to explain you lesson 3, that is separation of substances. As science is an interesting chapter and it's more interesting when the activities are performed. So in this chapter, we'll do various activities with the help of which your chapter understanding will be better, right? So, as this lesson 3, separation of substances, firstly let me explain you these two terms. What do you mean by separation and what are substances? Separation means to separate the things. To separate the things that are mixed together. To separate the things that are mixed together. Now here, if the things are mixed together, that means what they will form? They will form a mixture. So our next term is mixture. Means when two or more substances are mixed together and can be separated easily, that forms a mixture, right? So what are substances? Substances means any solid or liquid material. We consider it as substance, right? So here our separation, that is based on various methods. There are various categories. Then we can separate solid, liquid, how we can separate soluble liquid, solid, how we can separate insoluble liquid. So there are 3 categories which we will describe you one by one. But before that, let me explain you that when we are having the mixture, inside the mixture, the things that are separate, that are mixed, the individual part is known as component. The individual part is known as component. So after this mixture, we talk about component. Component means that individual part which forms a or that makes up a mixture is known as component, right? For example, here I am having a mixture of rice and pulses. In this mixture, rice is one component and pulse is another component. So there are 2 categories of components. Components can be seen clearly. Some components can be seen while the others cannot be seen. Right? So again, the mixture which I have shown you, can you see the 2 components clearly? Yes, ma'am. You must be saying, right? Because you can see both the components, rice as well as pulse. But some of the mixtures are there. For example, in this water, I have dissolved some sugar. Can you see the sugar inside it? No, you cannot see because the sugar has dissolved completely in the water. So in this mixture, the other component, that is sugar, cannot be seen clearly, right? So the components are of 2 types. Some can be seen and some cannot be seen, right? So next question that must be coming in your mind, why this separation is done? Why do we need to separate the substances? The answer is very much clear. There are various reasons, various purposes for which we separate the substance, right? First one, why we need to separate? First one, to obtain useful substances. Second one, to remove harmful substances, harmful or we say undesirable substances. I am writing in short form SOBS, means substances, okay. And the third one, to obtain highly pure substance, right? So let me explain you one by one. First, obtain useful substances. For example, when your mother, she makes water with this tea in the morning to prepare tea, but in the end, what she does? She separates the tea using a strainer. She does this thing. She separates the tea to drink and she separates the tea leaves, which are of no use, which is now undesirable. So to separate that undesirable substance, you do the separation, right? And the next, to obtain highly pure substance. How this is done? For example, you are here obtaining pure metal from its mineral form. So to obtain pure metal from the mineral form is called as separation to obtain highly pure substance. This kind of separation you will do it in your higher classes, right? So this is all about why the separation is done, what is the purpose of separation. Okay. Now let's move to the various methods how the separation is done. Right. So firstly, let me explain you the three categories for which separation is done. Separation, we do it for the various methods. Firstly, separation of solids from solids. Next is separation of insoluble solids from liquids. And the next is separation of soluble solids from liquids. Right? So this is all about your whole chapter 3, separation of substances. In the complete chapter, you will learn the various methods for these three categories. Right? First is separation of solids from solid. For this, we use 4 methods. First one is hand picking. Next is, after hand picking, means sieving, then threshing, and the next method is winnowing. Right? So these 4 methods we use for separation of solids from solids. Right? So our today's chapter will be based mainly on these 4 methods: hand picking, sieving, threshing, and winnowing. We will discuss one by one every method, and I'll tell you how and on what conditions each method is based, when we should use the sieving, when should we use hand picking, when the threshing and winnowing are used. Okay? But the various other 2 categories, that is separation of insoluble solids from liquids and separation of soluble solids from liquids, we will learn these 2 categories in our next chapter. But let me give you an introduction that what we will do in our next lecture. Actually, this separation is based on 3 methods: sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. So we will learn about these 3 methods in our next classes. And the next is evaporation and condensation. Right? So these are the various methods which we will learn in our next lectures. But our today's lecture will be based mainly on these 4 methods, which I am going to explain you one by one. The first method is hand picking. Now hand picking, as with its name, is clear to something is getting picked up by the hands. So what is hand picking? Hand picking is the process by which the undesirable substances are picked up by hands. That means we are removing undesirable substances from a mixture using hands is called as hand picking. Okay. For example, again, this your mama does every morning, every day in your home, that she is having some rice, and suppose in rice some pulses have been added by mistake. Okay. So what she does? She just separates it out. Okay. In this manner, by the use of hands, she separates the pulses from the rice. Or if some stones are added, then she separates the stones. Okay. So all this method is known as hand picking. Okay. Now question is, when should we use this hand picking method? Suppose there is sand and stone. Okay. And at the construction sites, the laborers have to separate this sand from the stone. So will they use this hand picking method? Because this stone can be easily picked up by hands. So will they use this method, hand picking? Yes or no? No, my dear students. They will not use this method, hand picking. Why? Because they are having much quantity to separate out. So how they can use hand picking method? For that they need long time. So that means their hard work will go in vain just in separating this mixture by the use of hands. Why? Because the quantity is large. So that means, when should we use this hand picking method? When the mixture or the quantity of the mixture is small, that can be separated easily by the use of hands. Right? Secondly, if suppose I am having 50 gram rice and 50 gram, I mean equivalent some stones or some pulse is there, okay, which we need to separate out. So will you use hand picking method for that purpose? No, you must be saying, oh, it's going to take a long time. At least the impurities or the undesirable substances that we need to separate out should be present in small quantity, so that it takes very less time, right? So in that case only we will use the hand picking method. So that means there are some conditions on the basis of which we decide whether we have to use the hand picking method or some other method. So let me tell you the conditions on the basis of which we use the hand picking method, right? So let's see. Let's see what are those conditions one by one. This hand picking method, actually it is done on the basis of three conditions. First one, undesirable substances should be present in small quantity. Should be present in small quantity. And what is next? Next is the mixture which you are going to separate out. The mixture quantity should be small. Mixture quantity should be small. Third one, if I give you some substance which is almost of same shape as the rices or as the pulses, or same in size and same in color, then will you be able to separate out? No. What you must have seen, black paper in your home, and that black paper is adulterated. Black paper means kali mirch. That is adulterated with the papaya seeds. Do you know? from the market when you purchase it, it's already adulterated. It's already mixed with the papaya seeds, because papaya seeds are not so costly, but black pepper is costly. So what they do? They mix it with the black pepper and just give you or sells you in the cost of black pepper. Why they do it? Because they earn profit with it. And why you are not able to recognize it, you know? Because the papaya seeds, when they are dried, they look same as the black pepper. Papaya seeds and black pepper, they both, if they look the same, they are same in color, same in shape, same in size. So will you able to separate it out? No, you will not be able to recognize that they have been mixed, right? So that means third point is the substance which is to separate out, or the mixture, we say the components of a mixture, component of mixture should be, or we say should differ in size, shape or color. At least they should differ. Only then we'll be able to recognize and we'll be able to separate it out fast, right? So these are the three conditions on which hand picking method is based. Now next method is sieving. These 3 points are clear to you? Okay, I am rubbing it and moving it to the next process, that is sieving. Now sieving, this method actually sieving is the process which is used when the components are of different size. When the components are of different size. For example, when you prepare tea in the morning, your mother used this strainer. This is called as strainer. With the help of this strainer, she separates, what she separates? She separates these tea leaves and the liquid that is there you have in your cup, that is separated it out from the used tea leaves. So this process is known as sieving. We use this process and we call it sieving, right? So when this process can be used, for example, at the construction sites, I was asking you that the laborers have to separate out this sand from the stones. So what they will do? They will use the sieve. They are having the bigger sieves, I am having the small size. But at the construction sites, you can see that they use the sieves, and with the help of these sieves, what they do actually, they just, now you can see that this mixture, this sand is just coming down, because the size of the sand is smaller than the holes, and the other component which is left behind, the size of this component is larger than the holes in the sieve. So that means, what is the condition for sieving? That one component should be larger than the holes in the sieve, so that it remains behind in the sieve and can be separated out easily. Clear? So my dear students, this sieving method is used only when one component is larger than the other. So what is the, so we will say, what is the condition for sieving method? One component should be larger than the holes, in the sieve. Right? So that it may remain left behind and it can separate out. Right? So our next method is threshing. Next is threshing. Threshing means it is the process of separating grains from the stalks. Grains from the stalks. To separate grains from the stalks. To To separate grains from the stalks, we use which process? We use the threshing process. And you know, it was done manually earlier. The farmers, what they do? They beat the stalks. Stalk means what? S-T-A-L-K-S. What does it mean? It means dried stem. Dried stem. Dried stem of wheat plant, right, or rice plant. These are just beaten on the stone to separate the grains of wheat or of rice, to separate the stones from the dried stem, and those grains are then further used, right? So for this threshing process, these days the machine, we call it thresher or combined harvester. For these days we use thresher for this threshing process. Now the farmer don't need to beat each and every dried stem on the stone to separate the grains from it, but the thresher machine does it by the use of this machine, right? Now next is, this is all about threshing process. Our next is winnowing. Next and last method of today's lecture is winnowing. So let's see what winnowing means. See friends, students, winnowing means the process, winnowing, as with the name it's clear. In the starting, this wind stands for wind actually. This stands for wind, means winnowing is the process in which for separation we use the wind. And what do we separate? In this winnowing process, we separate the lighter and heavier particle. Lighter and heavier particle. We separate one component is lighter in weight and another component is heavier. With the use of this condition, lighter and heavier particle, to separate this we use wind. In which process? In winnowing process. Have you ever seen this process? Your mothers must be doing at home a number of times. When, for example, here I am having this just a minute. For this, let me take a plate, and in that plate I am showing you, we call it garlic, right? Listen, I am having it with its covering, right? Its covering is lighter as compared to this garlic. So what will, I'll just rub it with my hands, this covering will get separate out, and just to make it out, what I'll do, I'll blow away the wind. See, the seeds, the covering have blown away. Why? Because by the use of wind, their covering was lighter and this garlic is heavier. So it will remain here, but the covering will blow away. So this process is known as winnowing. Winnowing is mainly based on lighter and heavier particle. In the same manner, to separate the grains from chaff, to separate the grains from chaff, this process winnowing is used, right? They also do the same, that a fan is there, and with the help of that moving air which is coming from the fan, that moving air actually, that is we call moving air as the wind, and that wind blows away the chaff and the remaining grains forms a pile. Okay students, so this is how the winnowing is done. You can do each and every activity today. You can explain your mother and father that what that activity is called as. So these are all about separation of solids from solids. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep enjoying and learning in a better way, right? Just try to watch the videos and upload it on our channel. And if anything is not clear, just ask the time in between 10 to 12. Thank you. Have a nice day.